know it's been a while, now I'm mixing up the drink. I just need a girl who gon' really understand. I just need a girl who gon' really understand.
What is the deal, beautiful people? It's your boy Ramon, Lifestyles Defined. Welcome back to another episode of AMA. If you're new here, you're not sure how this works, you leave your question in the comment section down below, and we'll answer it in upcoming videos. Today's question comes from Daniel Deng. Shout out to you, sir. Daniel says, I got the camera for 600 Canadian. I'm not sure which camera you got there, buddy, because you're like my dear buddy. It was a terrible Canadian accent. Because this comment was on the A6000 versus the EM10 video, so I'm not quite sure which one you picked up, but welcome, whichever one you did. Congratulations on your new toy. But Daniel says, I am between a beginner and intermediate for skill level, but I heard that the menu system can be very complicated. He's probably talking about Olympus or Sony. Huh. Any tips for street setups for, let's say, street photography, scenery, and evening, or even each? I'm sorry, I'm totally butchering this man's question. By the way, love your channel and your reviews. Thank you, good sir. Thank you for the love. So, tips for setting up your camera for street photography. I mean, this is, for me personally, I don't shoot manual very often unless I'm doing like portraits or landscapes. For me, I use either of the other modes. It could be shutter priority or aperture priority. Mostly I will use aperture priority. And the reason for this is, one, I just care about the aperture, and usually it's about an f8, which gives me a nice range of capturing kind of everything, but it doesn't really at the higher f-stops, it doesn't let as much light as I want. So my cameras, both the Olympus or even my Sony, when I shoot with it can, f8 is a good aperture, a good f-stop for shooting the street. My ISO, I usually leave it on auto, and on the Olympus I think it's set to it's set from low to 6400, and on the Sony I think it's the exact same thing. But yeah, the reason I set my ISO to auto is because I don't want to have to play around with it. And when you're out in the street, you know, you go through these different environments. You're in the shade, you're in the sun, and it's a pain in the ass to continue to sort of worry about ISO. And that's one of the things that I kind of like when I look at Fuji cameras, is they often have an ISO button. None of my cameras have an ISO dial, so it's never easy for me to adjust the ISO. I'm just like, God damn it, just leave it on auto and get it done with. So yeah, I personally don't shoot much of my street stuff on any of the manual modes, and I think that would be my biggest tip to you, is just put that thing on aperture priority and just put it f8, put the ISO on auto, and just worry about your composition, worry about the scene, be a part of the street that you're trying to capture. That's my feelings on that. In terms of scenery, I mean, scenery, you can kind of attack it the same way, where you actually put the thing on a tripod and get up in the f-stops and get as much detail as possible. But for scenery, I find it's best to just go manual. You know what I mean? Get a nice low ISO, or something like maybe 200, lower if your camera can, and sort of get a nice aperture of f12, f16, somewhere around there, and then you play with the shutter speed to get your exposure right. That's sort of how I attack my long exposure, my scenery. So not much, sorry, I don't have much secrets for you. I know a lot of people out there do like the zone focusing, where they keep the camera on like this focus mode where they know it's the person's 5 feet away from them and they can just hold it. I'm not doing all that shit, man. You walking around here trying to be Bruce Gilden. Those are pretty dope techniques if you can really master them, and they take some time. I've tried it once or twice. That stuff is pretty difficult and it requires a lot of practice, but nonetheless, my main tip for street is just aperture priority, auto ISO, and it takes it takes your mind away from worrying about settings, and it lets you put that brain power toward just shooting the street. So I hope that was a good enough answer for you. I hope it sort of gave you a good approach and a new lease on street photography and even scenery. Thank you so much for your question. For everyone else, you just hit the like button if you like it, and hit the dislike if you dislike it. I don't know, you don't like what the hell I be talking about. Subscribe to the channel. We got plenty more coming. My name is Ramon. I'm out of here. Peace. If I had to describe Lifestyles Defined, I would say it is a dream come true to have a platform where we can talk about the things that we love, and we can share with people who also love the things we love the way we love, and just have conversations that matter and go back and forth and grow as a community. It's been a pleasure. It's been a dream, and I just want to thank everyone that's involved for rocking out with us.
From the deep forest into the sun.